Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be working on my Australian umbrella tree. It is just over a month before the first fall show of the season, and that's the Kitchener-Waterloo Bonsai Society's fall show. And I was thinking of defoliating this tree, and when it comes closer to show season I'll see how it's doing, and it could be a possible show tree. I also want to check it for insects. I noticed there were some ants climbing up the trunk, which usually means it's either aphids or scale insects on the tree. So after the defoliation, I'll be very careful to go over the tree and make sure it has no insects. Here is a look at the tree. So it's looking really healthy. The leaves are a nice green color. It's done well over the summer. And this is a 5-trunk tree. It has, the main trunk comes up and it has all these twisty aerial roots and branches in here. It's quite an interesting tree. So I'm going to begin with the defoliation, so here I go. This tree is what I would call a large leaf bonsai. You can reduce the leaves with defoliation and they'll get a little smaller, but never, really small. So I'm going to prune the leaf petioles, maybe prune them back about 2/3, leaving just a bit of the petiole on the trunk line, and I'll be taking all the leaves off. I don't think I'll be pruning the tree. I don't think any branches have got out of line or anything. I think it'll just be defoliation in hopes of getting some smaller leaves on the tree for showtime. Some of these leaves are very giant, very large. Yeah, this tree, we had a really hot summer and I kept it in the greenhouse here. I didn't really have bench space outside that had good sunshine, so I kept it here for the summer. And it was probably a little hot in the greenhouse for it, so it didn't grow with a whole lot of vigor. Yeah, I'm already noticing some scale insects on some of the leaves. Yeah, there's little blisters. I did spray it after I noticed the ants climbing up it, but I'm going to have to scrape any scale blisters off and just make sure it's totally insect free. This branch doesn't look good. It may have died off. Yeah, maybe just too much shade there, or too many insects. Oh yeah, look at this leaf here. Oh my goodness. It's absolutely covered in scale blisters all over it. So I will make sure I take care of that. I don't see it on all the branches. There's a few up here. Here's the back of the tree. And you can see the original trunk line died off in the heat one day. I had it in the poly house and I was trying to keep it fairly dry and keep the humidity up in the poly house, and that generates aerial roots. And the one day it just got too hot and the whole kind of main trunk line died, and the only living part was the part that was shaded out on the bottom of the trunk line. So I've left the deadwood on here, and it's kind of a feature. I have it at the back. I don't really want to highlight this dead trunk, so the front is over here with all the interesting roots. Okay, so the tree is defoliated. Just cleaning it up a bit. So I think my next step is to spray the tree, and then I will, well, maybe I should just check for scale blisters first. So I'll get my close-up glasses on and just check it over. If there's any scale blisters I can scrape off, I will. There's a few there. Okay. Time to get out the soap and water. So all these leaves, they have a bit of scale insects on them, so I'll take those outside and throw them in the compost pile. Okay, here I go, spraying it with the soap and water. So again, I'll hold my breath. It's not good to breathe in this liquefied soap, this mist. So I hold my breath, go out of the greenhouse and let the air clear, and then I come back in to rinse it. So here I go, big breath. I've let the tree sit for about 5 minutes. So now I'll rinse it off thoroughly. And I have a little bit of fertilizer in this water. So I'm going to give it a good watering and a good rinsing at the same time. So after this defoliation, I'll keep it in the greenhouse here, where it'll be warm at night. It'll get good sunshine. I'll be careful to keep the soil moist, not wet. And it should grow new leaves in time for the show. If it doesn't, there's always the possibility of the Toronto show, which I think is another 10 days after the Kitchener one. So it should have leaves for that one. But I think they'll grow in. If I had pruned the tips, maybe not. But because I haven't done any pruning, I think 4 weeks is fine. I think the leaves will grow in just nicely. Well, that is a good, thorough watering. While the tree is draining, I'll rotate it around so you can see it from all angles. So here is the front of the tree, coming around to the right-hand side, to the back, to the left-hand side, and back to the front. So this deadwood at the back, it's lasted a lot longer than I ever expected it to. It's not very hard. It's, you can see it's rotted away at the base here, and I expect this eventually will disappear, and I'll just be left with what's left. And what's left is quite interesting. It'll have this hollow in the middle. Yeah, I'm tempted to remove the deadwood, but for now I'm going to keep it. It adds some kind of a feature at the front here. So in the future, I can see, this trunk line is getting a little tall and straight. I could prune it off here someday, maybe next spring. Same with some of these, they're getting a little long. This one's fine, this one's fine, that one's fine. Yeah, just a little bit of work on it. I do want to maintain kind of a rounded silhouette, so maybe this one will just get pruned a little bit. Yeah, so that's the work on the Australian umbrella tree, a large leaf bonsai. But I think it's a very interesting tree with all those aerial roots. The moss on this tree is getting quite thick. I'm guessing it's, about that thick at the moment. But I think it looks good. I think it'll green up nicely in the greenhouse here. I'll keep it nice and moist. And yeah, I think it's good for the show. I wouldn't want to replace it all at this point in time. Yeah, so there's the tree. That is it. It's time now for today's updates. I am heading out to the orchard to see if there's any progress on the greenhouse. They've had the full day today, so let's go see how it's doing. And here it is. They have made some progress. There's a
few more sections up. I think it's about halfway up now. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, I think they're exactly halfway. Still have to put a lot of cross members on, but yeah, it's going to be big. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm in the forest by the community gardens, and there is a buckthorn here that has a really nice root base on it. Check that out. Yeah, it's really big and spreading. If I could get mine like that, boy, that'd be great. Yeah, this is a fairly tall tree. Goes way up. It's growing beside another tree. So maybe the root base of this one is growing over top of the roots of another tree. Maybe that's why they're so spreading, because it's kind of unusual to see a root base on a buckthorn like that. Most of them, I mean, here's one here. You can see there's no big flared root base on that one. It's just got one thick root, that's it. It sure is a nice way to end the day walking through the forest here. It's always a delight to look at the trees with the setting sun. Yeah, it's just beautiful. I took my 2004 Toyota Matrix XRS to the car wash today, cleaned it all up, and I just realized I have owned this car for 21 years now. It's hard to believe, and it's always run really well. So yeah, Toyota reliability is certainly present in this car. Here's a look at my jade or crassula that I cleaned up that big stump on it, carving it back. So it's dried out really nicely. All is looking good on that wound. I think it'll heal quite nicely. I think it'll heal just like this one did here. Yeah, it'll take a while for it to get bark on it, but yeah, it takes a long time to get bark on these jades. My bluebell in the dragon pot is growing once again. You can see all the new growth coming out on the branches. So that's exciting. It's recovered from that heavy-duty pruning and starting to grow again. My very first bonsai, a ficus microcarpa that I grew from seed, is recovering really well. I defoliated it and pruned it up and repotted it, and you can see all the new growth coming in up top on it, all the branches. It's looking quite good. I think I did lose one branch back here. There's no new growth on it, and maybe part of the branch up there, but everything else is looking good. I'm going to finish off this beautiful day by watering all my trees. Make sure they're well watered. Yeah, it was a beautiful day today.
I'll be sure to show you my Australian umbrella tree closer to show time, where I'll have to pick out a stand for it, an accent plant, and we'll see how it's doing leaf-wise. So that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.